I'm not 60 years old, right? I'm just here, like my mom, my grandmother, they might have done something, but it's not my fault. And so it's like, how can we work together to fix these things? But I think at this point, a lot of men are checking out. And I don't feel like it's my fault. Like I didn't have a role in that. So why am I the one that's being blamed for it?
That is a good question.
Now, it says on here, answer in the comments. Let's go ahead and check out some of the comments and see what people are talking about. The first comment was probably your boy. Yeah, 8 minutes ago. All right, so let's see. Welcome back to Money, Marriage, and Media. Today we are looking at We Need to Talk. Now, this is a YouTube short. So this has an interesting question, and I think it's a valid one. I think it leads to high-level conversations that we need to be talking about, discussing, especially if we're ever going to be serious about building a community. So I'm gonna go ahead and let it play, and let's see what we got.
But it's also frustrating for women like me, the millennials who are feeling all of this anger. They're like, men have been complaining about things for 60 plus years, and you guys are now reacting because we're saying something. I'm not 60 years old, right? I'm just here, like my mom, my grandmother, they might have done something, but it's not my fault. And so it's like, how can we work together to fix these things? But I think at this point, a lot of men are checking out. And I don't feel like it's my fault. Like I didn't have a role in that. So why am I the one that's being blamed for it?
That is a good question.
It is a good question.
But it's also frustrating for women like me, the millennials who are feeling all of this anger. They're like, men have been complaining about things for 60 plus years, and you guys are now reacting because we're saying something.
I think she meant women have been complaining. And now that men are complaining. Yeah.
I'm not 60 years old, right? I'm just here, like my mom, my grandmother, they might have done something, but it's not my fault. And so it's like, how can we work together to fix these things? But I think at this point, a lot of men are checking out. And I don't feel like it's my fault. Like I didn't have a role in that. So why am I the one that's being blamed for it?
That is a good question.
Now, it says on here, answer in the comments. Let's go ahead and check out some of the comments and see what people are talking about. The first comment was probably your boy. Yeah, 8 minutes ago. All right, so let's see. Uncle Paulie says, at least she has an open mind for solutions. I salute her. I agree. That's why I actually follow her on I subscribe to her channel on YouTube. She has some interesting conversations. And yes, we're going to get to some of them. Let's see. Moses Martin 588 says, in her age group, as you said before, I guess he's talking about the host Alan, good women and modern women share so many of the same behaviors that it's tough for young guys to tell them apart. Now, I do agree with that, but we have to take some accountability on that as men who are supposed to be raising the next generation, because those are the things that his father, their fathers should have taught them. Right? There's a generation gap in there to where men are having problems understanding women today because nobody was there to teach them this stuff. Got to do a better job raising our kids. Unfortunately, it was a need to know basis. Unfortunately, I think it falls under guilty by association to give it a quick answer. I also think that it has a lot to do with what was said before on your channel, that the good women are the ones who had nothing to do with it, are too close to, and have allowed the bad behavior to run wild for too long. That has a point, right? Get a heart from the creator on that one. Let's see. Raharma Nelson. She has a legit point. She does. But then the same applies to black men. They have been hitting us with the color purple talk for decades. So it's not like that's not what is accepted. Black men got to deal with the grandpa that had a family across town, nothing to do with us, but they still expect us to shoulder it. We got 2 replies here. Okay, even us without kids got to deal with the idea that I'm automatically a deadbeat. I agree with that. That is the case. And that has to do with our image. We need to work on to improve it. No, she does not have a legit point. She is clueless. So she was badly trained as a kid. She's an adult now and is still repeating the lies the older women taught her. I'm not sure where that comment came from. That seems kind of out of place here. Maybe he's talking about a previous interview. Don't really know, but that's what John said. Okay. Well, I'm going to read a few more of these before I give my thoughts on it. If you're not a part of the bad group, a real and honest man will recognize that, because finding a really good woman nowadays, it's like finding a newly opened window in a room filled with smoke. Breath of fresh air. Yeah. She made an excellent point. She did, obviously. Understanding empathy and grace, not invalidating the effects of what men have experienced at the hands of black women, whether through relationships, family upbringing, etc. And our feelings and emotions as a result of that. I guess that's supposed to say are a result of that. Or instantly passing it off as he and his feelings. But if you're instantly taking the "it's not my fault" stance, you're then becoming part of the ongoing problem, thus making it your fault. Because the flip to this is, it's been niggas ain't ish by default for years. And that mindset was perpetuated by the same moms and grandmas that she's saying men may be angry at as she posed a question. So it all correlates. Black intellectual, as a big fan of Ty, I'm always happy to answer her questions. The issue is that not all of the millennial women are getting blamed, but that's most of them carry the same issues their past generations of women carry. So we feel like we are getting blamed for men we don't even know or we're there to talk to. So it's a reflex of what we've been getting. The black intellectual sounds like she may be a woman. Not sure. Don't know. Everyone takes an L for the rest. That's how the world thinks. In the end, when you have a relationship, be amazing. But make sure he is amazing. I actually like that comment. So, look, guys, y'all can go through the rest of the comments. I'm not going to keep going through that, right? But what we are going to do is answer the question. At some point, being an adult means that you have to, being an adult who's going to take on the responsibility of rebuilding the community, you have to address the things that tore our community down, that are keeping us apart. I say it all the time on this channel that the gender war is dumb. And it is. The reason I say it so much is because we have to address these. Now, what she's talking about is a major part of the gender war, the silencing of men for decades, right? And all of a sudden now, because we are not silent anymore, now there is this shock and awe value that comes with men speaking about relationships, because nobody was privy to this stuff except us. So how do you, as a modern woman, a woman of today, deal with that? Well, you take it on the chin, suck it up, and do the best you can, and try and incorporate the knowledge into the type of relationship that you want to have. If that's marriage, the reason why there is so much struggle going on right now is because a lot of variables about marriage have changed within the last, I'll say probably about 20 years. And the jury is still out on whether or not these changes, if we're adapting to them in the right way. I'll give you a prime example, right? Today, women make more money than ever before. Now, this is not a bad thing, but unfortunately, it's caught a lot of men with their pants down. Why? Because a lot of us were raised to believe that we are the head of the household because we make more money. Now, this is a fact. Now, the problem is that, and this is a big thing on YouTube, is that, you watch these relationship channels and all these dating coaches and everything else, and they tell you not to lead with your wallet, right? But fundamentally, we have been raised to believe that the man is the head because he makes the money. But again, we go back to women are making more money than ever before. So a lot of times they want in on the leadership role. Right? There's nothing wrong with that because, again, that's how you're raised. So how do we deal with this? Okay, well, number one, we need to address the fact that a lot of times we're raised with that belief, particularly the men, because they've been taught to it by a woman. It's the whole single mom thing, and this is how she's raising her son. Unfortunately, well, let's not go down there. What are the solutions? That's what we need to focus on. This is why I tell guys all the time on my channel, you need to lead with the dime. Discipline, integrity, morals, and ethics. You lead with those, and then the amount of money that you're making tends to hold less value in women's eyes. Because if you're leading her through those, that means that you're outranking her in those 4 categories. She's going to care less about your income. That's the way it goes. This is how you can compete on in the dating market today, as far as being average. Now, is it 100% successful? No, nothing is. But it does give you a certain advantage over individuals who will prioritize the amount of money that we're making. How do I know this? Because we've seen it in the dating market, right? The propaganda that's out there says that rich men are going to cheat on you, so they offer no loyalty. Okay, well, again, discipline, integrity, morals, and ethics. If you're rocking with those 4, then if you're leading with those 4, then you don't believe in cheating, because it's not moral, it's not ethical. You have to have integrity. You see how this works out? That's why, because this is, believe it or not, women care more about loyalty than they do about finances. Because what's the argument that that majority of women make when it comes to dealing with a high value man? I don't want to have to share him. In most cases, they're actually willing to leave him if they have to share him. They'll just find somebody else. Is that delusional? Maybe. I don't know. But the point is that loyalty becomes important. So that's why I say lead with the dime, and that will help offset a lot of that. But also, if you're leading with the dime, then that means that most women are not going to have an issue with you leading as being head of the household. But look, guys, this is just a YouTube short. It's part of a bigger conversation. And I'm definitely looking forward to having it. So making sure you subscribe, because we're going to continue to push the conversation forward. I'm going to say goes to the next time. Peace. Thanks for making it to the end of this video, but do me another favor, like and subscribe, but also check out these here. Either subscribe or watch videos, one or the other. I don't know which side, but hey, all right.